Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down interesting new research for you. Today, we're talking about something that's on everyone's mind: artificial intelligence.
That's right. Ever since ChatGPT burst onto the scene, it feels like we're constantly hearing about what AI can do, what it's going to do, and whether it's here to save us or to doom us.
Exactly. And today's paper is all about those stories we tell. It's called AI Narrative Breakdown, a critical assessment of power and promise by Rehak from the Weizenbaum Institute in Germany.
The author argues that to have a sensible conversation about AI, we first need to look at the narratives, the myths and assumptions that shape our understanding. These stories are powerful and they can often be misleading.
So, this isn't really about the code or the tech itself, but about how we talk about the tech?
Precisely. The paper introduces a great term for this: zeitgeist AI. It's the idea that AI has become this vague catch-all buzzword for anything modern or digital, from algorithms and big data to robots and apps.
I've definitely seen that. A company will say their new toaster is AI powered.
And that vagueness is a problem because it stops us from having a meaningful discussion. To clear things up, the paper reminds us of a crucial distinction. First, there's what's called artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI.
Okay, what's that?
That's every AI system that actually exists today. It's an AI designed for one specific task. Think of the AI that recommends shows on Netflix, or one that can translate languages, or even ChatGPT, which is designed to generate text. It can't suddenly decide to do your laundry.
Got it. So, what's the other type?
That's artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is the sci-fi version of AI, a machine with human-like consciousness, creativity, and the ability to learn anything. Think of Data from Star Trek or Samantha from the movie Her. The paper is very clear. This does not exist.
Right. So, when we confuse the real, narrow AI with the sci-fi general AI, our stories get all mixed up. So, let's break down some of those stories. The paper talks about the narrative of AI having agency or being autonomous. We hear about AI making decisions.
Yes, and this is a big one. The paper argues that AI systems don't have intentions or agency in any meaningful sense. They're complex tools executing a purpose that was set for them externally by humans.
So, when we talk about a self-driving car, it's not actually deciding where to go on its own?
Exactly. The paper suggests we should call it automated driving, not autonomous driving. Autonomy implies self-governance, making your own choices. An automated car is just following incredibly complex rules and patterns programmed by its designers. It doesn't have a desire to get to the grocery store. It's a tool.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the narrative of truth? We've all seen examples of chatbots making things up, what people call hallucinations. Is the AI lying to us?
According to the paper, no. An AI can't lie, because lying requires knowing the truth and intentionally choosing to say something different. Large language models like ChatGPT don't know anything.
So, what are they doing?
They're incredibly sophisticated pattern matchers. They've been trained on vast amounts of text from the internet, and their job is to calculate the most statistically probable next word in a sentence. One paper called them statistical parrots. They are just repeating sequences of words based on statistical rules, without any understanding of what those words mean.
So, when it says something false, it's not a lie, it's just a statistical error, a plausible sounding sentence that happens to be wrong.
That's the idea. It's a formal language model, not a knowledge model. The style may be perfect, but the substance can be complete fantasy.
Let's move to another big narrative, that AI is neutral and objective. You know, the idea that because it's based on data and math, it can make fairer decisions than biased humans.
This is a really important myth to bust, and the paper goes into great detail here. The author states that no AI system is or can be neutral. Every step of the process involves human decisions that are loaded with values and biases.
How so?
Well, think about who designs the system and for what purpose. What data is it trained on? The data we feed it is just a snapshot of our world with all its existing inequalities. So if you train an AI on historical hiring data, it might learn to discriminate against women because that's what the data reflects.
So it's not objective, it just launders and sometimes amplifies our own existing biases.
Precisely. As the paper quotes, raw data is an oxymoron. All data is the result of choices. The system is a product of a specific point of view, and pretending it's objective just hides the assumptions and power dynamics built into it.
Okay, final narrative, and it's the one that causes a lot of anxiety. AI is a job killer that will lead to mass unemployment.
The paper frames this as an oversimplification. The story isn't that AI magically makes jobs disappear. Instead, we're seeing a structural transformation of the labor market.
What does that mean?
It means some jobs change, requiring new skills. Some moderately well-paid jobs might be replaced by a few very high-skilled positions and a lot more low-skilled, precarious work. It's a process of de-skilling. And most importantly, the paper points out that AI doesn't take away work. Decision makers and companies decide to automate processes to cut costs.
So the focus should be on the human decisions behind the automation, not on the technology as some unstoppable force of nature.
Exactly. It hides the need for societal shaping and political decisions about what kind of future we want.
A much more practical and maybe less scary way to look at it. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening to Daily Papers.